Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully created our another component for the new arable, and for the new arable here I am actually using one of the React carousel, and for the React slick with this we actually manage this this carousel, right? So now friend, I want to add another functionality in here. Like I want to add two of this button, and into this button when we click as a next, then automatically one by one that will be actually moving. And if you want to go to that our previous one, you can also able to go to the previous one. So how can do that work? In this video I want to show you that things with the live example. For doing this, first of all I want to take two of this button. After that new arable, so that is your in our new arable JSX. So here I want to do that is actually one of the name, and that is our h2 tag, right? So into the h2 tag area here I want to take two of this button. So first of all I want to take one of the href as a, and then I want to close it so that our anchor tag close. Okay, into this position I want to use one of the class name I make it as a btn. Okay, btn sm, that means this btn is small size, and I want to use one of the margin length I want to use it as a 2. Okay, and then also I have already created some of the css code for the button. Like here I have already created the button, right? Button css code I have already write down the css code as I told you. So this type of the simple button css code as a side button. So this is the side button I want to use it. Better right now I copy everything. For the button css I copy everything, and then in our here I paste it. Okay, so now I want to use our this our class. So that is actually our class as a side button. I copy it, and then in our project, that means there are one of the button. After that I want to use this our side button. Okay, side button. Into the side button, what exactly I have done, I have simply added on the font white, I have added the padding, there is a font family, and the color will be white, and background color will be our this deep blue color. And also I make it as important, so it will be not changes. And for the side button active, when it will be as active, then that will be our another background color. So you can actually change as per your demands. Right now I make it both of these as the same color. Okay, now in our this button, so that will be as a side button, and into this side button I want to use one of the on click function. So I make it as a on click. Okay, on click, and on click here I want to pass one of the function. And first of all I want to check our button, but I copy it, and then I want to paste it. So that will be another one for the right one. Okay, for this one I want to use one of the icon tag in particular that area. So that will be one of the icon tag as an icon. Close this icon, and into this icon area I want to use one of the class name as a fafa class, and the name class name I want to use it as a fa, and then fa angel. Okay, angel I make it as a left, so that will be as a left. And also I want to take another one, I copy it, so that will be as a right. Okay, I make it as a right, so that is another icon that will be as a right. Perfect. So now first of all I want to check it, click as a save all, and now if you go to our project, now click as a refresh. Now they have some of the error as a fail to compile in our new arable 53. You can see there is on click, he's actually getting that things for this. Better I want to do and to remove it right now. First of all I want to check it our button, I remove both of this, click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yeah, it's now successfully loaded. And you can see there is there is two of this button, right? I want to put some of the gap. If you want to put that gap, that means after that new arable. Okay, after that new arable I want to use that one of the gap, that means one of the space. So that will be as a and nbsp, right? So and nbsp, that is for the spaces. I want to copy it, and also from this button to another button I want to add another gap. Okay, now click the save all, now refresh. Perfect. So now there is a 2 gap. Perfect. Now we have to execute it. Okay, so if you want to execute it, then we have to add on the on click function. So if you want to add this like for this button, better I want to make it a little bit left side. Okay, I'll link to the left side. Here I want to add one of the on click function. So there is on click, In fundamental, I have already discussed about that things with the onClick function. So into the onClick, when you click it on here, I want to pass one of the method. Okay, so here like as this, and then I name it as a previous, and then also I want to take another one, the same for onClick. I name it as a that will be as a next. Okay, so next. So now we have to actually create both of these as a previous and the next. So two of this method we have to create. After that component, I want to do and to take one of the, first of all, take one of the constructor, right? We have to take that constructor as a constructor. So I take that constructor, and here I pass that props, because that will be one of the onClick function. I pass one of the props, and with this props area I take our super class, so that will be as a super. Okay, or I take that super class, I want to do and to load it, and here also I want to pass this property as a props, so I simply pass it. So now we have to use our both of this name. I name it as a one as a this, and then next, right? One of that this next, and also I take another one as a this dot previous, maybe, right? I name it as a previous, right? So that will be as a previous, and this dot previous. Okay, so into this position, first of all, the next area I want to do and to bind this data. I want to bind this next data, so I want to use it as a this. Okay, this dot and the next, that means this next I want to do and to bind. So if you want to bind it, that will be another command as a bind, right? So that is one of the default function. So with this bind, I want to do and to pass our this. Okay, so this I want to do and to pass it. Perfect. And same, I want to do the same things for here. So that will be this, and then for the previous, that will be as a previous, and this previous I want to do and to bind this data. So I want to bind this data, and here I want to pass that as a this. Okay, perfect. So here I pass both of this, in particular that position, which is totally fine. And after that, now we have to create our two of this method. I want to do and to create another method as a next. And for the next, I want to do and to load this next, and also I want to create another one as a previous. So I take another one as a previous. Okay, I take both of these. After that, that will be our, which one? That will be our, in our slider. Into the slider area, I want to do and to visible it. So here I have already loaded that slider. So into the slider area, now we have to pass this action. So if you want to pass this action, I want to pass it with our this method. There is a next. So into the next, that will be as a this, and then slide. Okay, slide, SLIDER, slider. And into this slider, with this I want to do and to use another sleek function as a sleek next and the sleek previous. So I want to use that as a sleek, and the next. Okay, sleek next, and then I want to do the same things for the previous. So that will be as a this, and then slider. Okay, this slider, and then the sleek, and then previous. Okay, so that will be as a PREVE. That was a PREV. Okay, previous. Perfect. So I want to call both of these function, in particular that area. So now I want to pass our this slider. So this slider, and then the next and the previous, right? So now I want to do and to pass it in our slider. So into the slider area, into this slider I take one of the reference. So there is a reference. Into the, with this reference we have to actually pass it. So now with this reference we have to pass it. I take one of the functional component as a C, and then there is our functional component I want to do, and with this function I want to pass it. That will be our this, and then slider. Okay, this slider, and then our function name as a C. So now that should be executable in our this slider area. Okay, so everything will be, rest of this will be same. Here I simply create another function. With this function I pass our this slider data. That should be work. Now let's check this out. Click as a save all. Okay, that is just this slider, this next, this previous. I updated that next previous method, and here I pass that out this slider without this link next, and the link past previous. Okay, let's check this out. If you now go there, click as a refresh. So right now we don't need this. I want to close it. Okay, I want to close all the tab. And now that is our project, and now if you click it, yes, you can see it's now perfectly changing. You can see it's perfectly changing. And also if you want to go to the previous one, so that is the previous one is also perfectly working. So there is the next and the previous. That means our this carousel is now perfectly working, right? So that is also executable. Here we simply updated this part. So that's all you have to do. I take on the next and the previous one, and as I pass that slider data, I pass this slider data in here. So that is our slider. Here I pass that references data, and then that is our action, on click action as a previous and the next. So that is our on click function. Everything is looking great. So that is everything. And also there is another things, like if you click as a refresh, okay, after that refresh, when you go to that next and then last one, after that last one, you can see it's now become fixed. Okay, it's now become fixed because of all. Here there is another function as a infinity. So I want to make it as a infinity as a true. Okay, so then that will, we can able to reload it again. So I make it as a true, so that will be as a true. Now let's check this out. Click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, so now if you go there, you can see it's now totally infinity. So automatically after that 8, it's now started again from the 1. So now that is totally infinity. Perfect. You can see it's now perfect. It's now updated. So now that is all. So infinity make it as a true, then that will be okay, and then autoplay as a true. Everything is great. Okay, everything is great. So friend, in our next video I want to discuss about our mega menu. Okay, that is another component, that is a mega menu. So how can create some of the mega menu, and after that how can load some of the slider. So step by step I will cover everything with live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.